Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I felt like Bruce Buffer. That was good.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Unauthorized Media.
Where JT's mom is the main subject of this podcast. What is wrong with you?
Go ahead and bring my mic.
We're gonna talk about JT's mom policy here. I hate you.
I got a new level today. My mic is going like off the charts because of his womanly laugh.
I hate you so much.
That's two podcasts he's ruined right off the bat.
Alright.
Not even a minute into this yet. I thought I had a great entrance.
With the white hot intensity of 1,000 suns. I was starting to cry.
That, like,
I hate you.
like sons our size or all different sizes?
You know what? You pick. You gonna pick 1,000 suns. Alright. Whichever one's toast you go.
You want me to pick 1,000 suns for the hatred you have for Aramis? At least you get everyone involved. I like it.
I want to see what you come back with, and I'll tell you higher or lower.
Okay. I feel you.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk about power scale.
Power systems today.
Yeah, I said
power scaling was a different video we watched. You guys can go see.
Yeah, we just did that. I'm sorry. Power system, where I was just told and
can you give me that monster down there?
How power systems is like the key and all that different types of stuff, which I found to be vastly interesting. So these guys are going to talk more about it. I'm just going to sit here and absorb all this knowledge that they're about to spew to you guys and me as well, because
I ain't spewing nothing.
I said spew knowledge.
I said I ain't spewing nothing. Like, 3 dudes in here.
Like your mom spewed. What is wrong with you?
Really? This was supposed to be rated E for everyone, and you're making this horror. If my mom watching this video,
she's gonna take a drive.
Right? Where he live at? You tell me where he live at.
He lives exactly where he. I ain't gonna be here, so it's all good.
You my mom to call your mom?
My mom is.
She'll find a way. She
can pray.
She got a shovel.
How that work?
Dig her up, just yell at her because how she raised her child.
She just looking down. She probably said a word.
Your mom probably got a shoe in her hand waiting for you up there.
She probably said, "Them doggone." She's from Indiana too, because they on that borderline from the south. They know that that borderline in the south and the north separated. During that time period.
He's talking about the Mason-Dixon line for.
No. I'm talking about the Civil War.
That's the Mason-Dixon line.
That's the Mason-Dixon line.
It's a Mason-Dixon line.
I'll give you
Yo, mom, some of this Mason-Dixon line. That was the only good one. All the rest of it horrible.
Alright, okay, sure. Alright, I'm sorry. This is why this show is ain't shit. Let's get my name. Alright, we're gonna talk about power systems. Y'all get to it.
I'm sweating, hang on.
I think we're awesome. Yeah. George just shed like 2 or 3 pounds from laughing. I refuse.
He likes those 2. That's a whole chicken nugget. Anyway, like a whole box of chicken nuggets. I don't know. I don't know how scaling works. So back to talk about power scaling.
Talk about me! Oh, yeah. Talk about me!
I don't know how systems work either.
God, doggone.
5 minutes into this video, we've never talked.
What is that?
This shit's still gonna happen. We've been on different sides of the. Anyways, so when we talk about power systems, we're mostly talking about, like he was saying earlier. So in like Dragon Ball Z, you have Ki, which is like how they raise and lower their power. Then in like Fullmetal Alchemist, you have I don't even know how is that alchemy? So it's based on your level of intelligence actually because of what chemical compounds are inside of stuff.
Yeah, because essentially there is, which Edward says like a million times in the show, it's based off the law of equivalent exchange. So whatever you want to build, you have to take that from somewhere and reform it into something else.
Exactly. Like whenever, if you guys have watched Fullmetal Alchemist, whenever he made the spear out of the concrete, in concrete there are materials that have the same composition as metal, so he can make the spear tip, and then the whole base is made out of concrete. So,
yeah.
And then in like Fairy Tail, you have magic. So those are different power systems, and like they're also like take One Piece. There are different power systems inside One Piece itself. Like you have Haki and you have Devil Fruits, two different power systems. But Haki can overpower a Devil Fruit, so isn't that power system better then?
It's still situational.
Because you run out of Haki eventually. You don't run out of being a Parametheus.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Haki was for the Logia types or whatever. That's what everybody was like, mostly like, hey, it'll affect them or whatever.
Right.
But at the same time, if I'm faster than you, you still can't hit me.
Right.
So
if I'm stronger than you, your hit doesn't mean anything.
So you training your armament Haki doesn't matter if you can't hit me with it.
Right.
Or if you can't cover your whole body with it, it still doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I think that was a good thing that they did in One Piece, that it kind of made them
even a little.
It brought Devil Fruits down to the level of everybody else, or
right?
Everybody else up to the level, whatever you want to call it.
Evened it out.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the stuff they're doing now, they've clearly decided that Haki was going to be a little better because of all Haki blooms and things like that. It pretty much got to the point where it's like, hey, if you can train your Haki enough, you're better than whoever you're up against.
Right, like with Shanks, they're like explicitly said Shanks doesn't have a Devil Fruit. His Haki is the most powerful. And that's why he's a Yonko.
So, like, with another one you like this what is called and Yu Yu Hakusho, the spirit
energy.
So spirit energy, demon energy, and then Kai.
They have divine energy, and then Bleach. Kai is your spirit energy. It's the same thing. Yes, so it's just a different name. In China, in China, it's Chi is what they call it actually. So you have different names for energy. You know, like here it's your soul. Like you have like in Bleach, it's spiritual pressure, which is like it's basically it's all the same thing in my opinion. Like it's Dragon Ball Z, it's more visual. In my opinion, because they actually have like an aura around them,
right.
And then, in Bleach, they get to remember like whenever he unleashes the skull, they unleash the skull on each other. He's fighting. I always forget his name. He's my favorite character. It's so hurtful.
Grimjaw?
No. Whenever he Bells.
Oh, Kenpachi.
Yeah, whenever he's fighting Kenpachi, and like they literally like two skull. I always forget his name. I don't know why. And it's such a cool name.
Yeah, it is. He's like. One of the best
wait till the 1,000-Year Blood War. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Everyone watched the 1,000-Year Blood War. If Kenpachi is one of their favorite characters,
you already said that he reaches his
Bankai, but I'm not gonna tell you what comes of it or anything like that, dude. It is.
I can only imagine.
Look at so good.
He's getting turned on right now.
Yeah. Hot in here.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
So, and then with Bleach, you have two different power scalings. You have your sword. And then, or you have your, if you're not a Soul Reaper, then if you're like a Quincy, then it's something else that you have.
So Quincy's had
they use Reishi.
They use Reishi,
but I don't know how they power scale really because they talked about it a little bit.
There's systems in there. There was a bunch, but it kind of boiled down to Quincy's use
It's not,
Reishi.
But isn't it knowledge? Like the more knowledge you have. No?
Because Chad didn't know shit about his stuff, and he still got powers.
Okay,
yeah, but he's not a Quincy.
No, there still isn't. They absorbed Reishi.
Right.
Uryu was... The only reason Uryu had the power that he had is he tapped out trying to keep up with Ichigo and trying to pull in Reishi. Everything he had after that, when you see him stronger, he got a different weapon.
Right.
So theirs isn't... it's not really a knowledge thing. It's you gotta get something that can pull in more reishi.
Okay. Yeah, like the glove whenever he fought the guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, on that note, because I have a question. Because do you have to be? Does that energy has anything in general? Does that have to do with working hard or your physical, like,
I think so,
training or something like that?
Because all the main characters and all the animes,
or you have to or you just naturally get.
Well, are you meaning Uryu specifically?
I'm just saying in general.
No, he said in general. He did say in general. Like with the Saiyan, like if you go back to Dragon Ball Z, they're more innate power because they have the ability to go Super Saiyan, which increases their ki and increases their power level. So especially because you have different levels of Super Saiyan, 2, 3, God, and everything like that. And then with Bleach, it's almost the same way because you've got your sword, which increases your spiritual pressure as you unlock your sword. So you've got your Shikai and Bankai. So you have what's the base form called?
That's your Shikai.
What's second form?
Bankai. What are you talking about?
No, there are 3 forms.
You're talking about just normal sword?
Yeah, when it's just a normal sword.
They don't call it anything.
It's just your Zanpakuto.
Yeah.
So you have your normal Zanpakuto, your Shikai, and your Bankai. And as you level up, as you watch Bleach, you see that Ichigo gets faster and faster and faster as he unlocks his levels and stuff. So.
Well, I'm talking about from a normal standpoint, for real. So I'm a normal guy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a certain power level.
Right.
But with this extra added thing, if I don't, Gohan, prime example, if I don't work in it, do we just...
You lose your power.
You lose? Okay.
That's what happened with Gohan. And then but then if you take some animes with really older characters...
Well, no, even staying on the Dragon Ball Z, Videl gets stronger because Gohan introduces her to actually using ki.
Oh, when she learned how to fly and stuff.
Yeah, so she learned how to fly. So you can... It's one of those things right now, if ki was real... And we want to go off that. I'm not going into talk to actual Shaolin monks or any.
We're not going to do that shit.
We're going to sit here and talk about the real things for ki. But essentially, if we're just pretending right now that Dragon Ball Z ki is real,
we're in the Dragon Ball Z world, we'll say
that. You would
that.
need to either train ridiculous levels so that you can unlock it yourself, or have someone show you how, and then your ceiling is.
It goes up.
It's where you're going to.
Yeah.
So you actually have to work it.
Yeah.
Right, because you didn't see ki in Dragon Ball at all. You saw no ki in Dragon Ball, really.
Well, at least no one talked about it.
Right. And then when you got into Dragon Ball Z, you got into power levels and stuff like that. Because I don't remember in Dragon Ball anyone getting a ki aura Master Roshi, whenever he does
he did the Kamehameha wave,
and he got a ki aura. But that was the only time.
Okay, so shows like Demon Slayer, do Demon Slayer have anything like that?
Yes, they do. So you learn different techniques, and then you also learn to master those techniques. And then they also have full concentration breathing. When that literally just if you do full concentration breathing full time, is that what they call it?
Yeah, so the constant.
Yeah, constant. Then that as it builds up your stamina, so that you can continue to use more and more powerful moves without breathing.
Oh.
Basically, because as you guys know from lifting and stuff like that, you want to exhale to get the most amount of your energy out.
Right.
So if you can not inhale, you are completely going full tilt. Same thing in fighting and stuff like that. They teach you as you hit, as you push, you have to push out.
Yeah.
If you could not inhale as a fighter at all throughout a whole match, you could go full tilt the whole time. No one can stop you. So literally, that's what they is in Demon Slayer. And then also, different breathing techniques do different things. So Tanjiro ends up learning a bunch of different breathing techniques and stuff like that because he does learn the sun breathing, but he also learns thunder breathing, and then he has the water breathing and everything like that because it's used for different things. Thunder breathing is used for your legs, sends more oxygen to your legs to make you faster. And then water breathing more puts it inside of your core so that you have more flexibility because water is flexible. But then you also have breathing techniques that no one's done before, like the beast breathing. Cut me off. Go ahead.
I was just saying it kind of makes sense. They bullshit you a lot in Demon Slayer.
They do bullshit you a lot.
I don't care how much control over your breathing you have. You're not closing wounds.
I'm just saying.
That is their power system. Breathing techniques is their power.
What about UA?
Their power system is quirks.
Yeah, it's quirks. And the more you master your quirk, because your quirk is your special power.
Because, well, I guess that goes along with everything else.
And your ceiling for your quirk is fully understanding how you want to use it.
Yeah. So, like, take Bakugo, for example. He learns, what does he call it? The skeet shot or something like that? Or power shot, whenever he puts his hand.
Oh, the AP shot.
Yeah, AP shot, because it's more direct. So usually whenever he hits, it's a mass explosion that's going all over the place. But because he put his hand in front of it, the explosion is then directed like a funnel through a gun. So then it comes flying through. And then Deku, for example, his arms were destroyed.
Right.
So he started to use his legs. He put metal soles on his feet and stuff like that. So whenever he kicks, it kicks with way more power. And then he also put that blasting cap in it. So when it kicks, it hits with all that power and then hits again with more power. So I think equipment has a lot to do in My Hero Academia too. And that's another thing that. So like take Goku's power pole for example. Do you increase the power pole?
He don't use it in Dragon Ball Z, but in Dragon Ball,
so
he has a pole on his back.
Oh, okay.
The power pole extend and everything like that.
Yeah,
So let's take Goku with his power pole. Do you increase his innate abilities because he has mastered the power pole, or does that not do anything? Is he just as powerful with or without the power pole?
The power pole, I would say it's situational. I won't. That takes me literally to Kenichi. In Kenichi, they have a group of women who are trying to fight on par, and they're the Valkyries. And their leader is a woman who is like, no, I'm trying to fight on the same par as men, so I'm using weapons. So she teaches each of them to specialize in a weapon to close a gap. I don't see Goku mastering the power pole, because when you say he masters the power pole, no one's talking about how to use the power pole.
I thought Kami taught him how to use the power. Or not Kami, but
Korin fought with him a little bit.
Yeah, I
he
thought.
had the power pole, but you don't see him use that enough for me to say he mastered that power pole.
Movies don't count. Okay.
Okay, with that being said, so...
What Trunks with a sword? Trunks with a sword. I guess it's better. That's better.
Trunks is a sword user, not a swordsman. He ain't mastered that sword.
Okay.
Not like,
So take
Zoro.
Yeah, take away Zoro's swords.
Take away Zoro's swords.
He does have non-sword style. We've seen that. Zero sword style.
Okay, before you hop in there, because that's, I think it's going where I'm trying to, the question I'm trying to ask. So, with that being said, there's like weapons, like from a natural standpoint, there's a power system, but when you add in weapons,
that's what I was getting at too.
Yeah.
Does it change?
Does it
the power
change?
system?
Yeah.
Does it make them stronger or does it make them weaker?
I would say it depends on the person and
does it
into
does it take it away? Are they better without
Jujutsu Kaisen, the girl that can only use the cursed weapons.
Yeah.
Like without her cursed weapons, she can do nothing.
Right.
she has martial arts.
Yeah, but it's not against a curse though. She can't do a lot. Only curses can destroy curses in that world. So if you take away her cursed weapons,
It brings her a whole lot.
so what is she gonna be like? So say like with a weapon, her power level like 400. Without a weapon, does it drop it down to like 100? Because she has mastery over those weapons too.
Right, but it's the same as when people are saying, okay, when people are doing crossover fights, like a lot of times when they're like, okay, well, let's put that person up against Superman. And it's like, all right, what Superman are you using? Are you using the Superman that chilled in the sun for like a bunch of
Superman
years?
1 million?
Yeah, Superman 1 million, or are you using base level Superman? Base level Superman is not the same as that.
No.
That I had her name and then it left immediately. Her with her weapon and without.
I can't remember what her name
not
is.
the same.
Is that what it
I
is?
think it's not.
Yeah.
You know, you're not the same person.
No.
Like,
So
you're not.
we were talking about Zoro. Let's say Zoro. So he has crazy strength.
Yep.
Ridiculous. Like we've all seen it where he's got like 1,000 pounds on the end of that barbell. You know what I mean? He has zero sword
He
style.
drops without his swords.
But how far? So let's
Very
say
far.
very far. So let's say like power scaling Zoro is very difficult. So I'm using Dragon Ball Z scale points right here. So let's say that his power level is like 25,000.
Okay.
It's respectable. You know what I mean? Take his swords away. I mean, what are we dropping him to? Like 15? Are we dropping him a whole 10,000 points? And like how many swords? If he drops one sword, does it drop him
I
down?
don't give you numbers, but I give without his where he is right now without his blades. I put him well before the time scale.
Really?
In terms of the style.
So, like, he would not be as powerful as, like, a vice admiral. Let's go with that. No?
Mainly because it's about how comfortable you are. Although he has no sword style, that is a last resort.
Right.
And it's not a trump card last resort. It's a
This is the
Pokemon I'm out of.
Right.
He was struggle.
Right.
That's what that is for him.
So what about with just one sword? Is he still dropping an ability and stuff? Because he's trained in one sword style and he has mastered one sword style.
He drops, but he does not drop as low.
Right.
And that goes back to the very first time you see, well, his flashback when you see him fighting Kuina or whatever her name was, the one who couldn't walk downstairs. Or up. They didn't specify. When they're fighting and he pulls out all those swords and he's just pulling them, she's like, what are you doing? And then when he loses those, he's down to the 3. And for a moment, she like stiffens up and he's like, nah, you look like a swordsman now. You look like you know what you're doing. His comfortability is in 3 sword style now. I wouldn't say he mastered, but I would say because of who his master was, he is legit, very legit in 1 sword style. His master didn't use 2 sword styles, so he had to learn that.
Or 3.
And he didn't use 3, he had to learn that himself.
No one uses 3 sword style.
He learned that himself, and when you're developing your own technique, the other techniques that you learned before that they're gonna deteriorate a little bit it's like putting skill points in a video.
I still feel like he made up his own techniques for 1 and 2 sword style. Like, we've seen it. Like the 1 gorilla, 2 gorilla, that's a 2 sword style technique.
No, it's not.
Is it 3 sword style?
It's not a sword style technique. That's just a strength. Literally, all he does is his biceps are stronger.
Okay. Like his the tiger attack that he does. Tiger trap.
Yeah, he has techniques that are specifically for 1 and 2, but I don't think none of those are going to be as strong as Trichilio's cast.
Right.
Like they just can't. When he thinks of
Or 1,000 Worlds.
Yeah. When he thinks of what his strongest move is going to be,
It's a 3 sword style
it's a
attack.
3 sword.
Yeah.
He's not going to the drawing board and going, hey, well, what's my strongest move when I got 1?
Right.
He came up with some moves if he got 1, but he's not going into the fight with Kaido thinking 1 sword style, I'm gonna use this.
Right.
He's just not.
So, someone who I guess like can use a weapon but chooses not to, I guess, or is powerful on both sides. Like, and we haven't seen what Shanks can do yet, but they said that he can. I know we're using a lot of One Piece references because I feel like they're really easy to power scale.
Fuck Shanks until you see something.
You're not gonna watch Red though, are you?
I'm gonna watch it.
Watch Red. Okay, after we watch Red, we might do a watch party. I don't know. We'll do something maybe for Red. It's fucking huge, but do you even know what Red is?
It's a Shanks movie.
No, it's a movie all about Shanks. And like in Elbath, right?
I don't know.
That's part of the chapter.
I didn't look at it at all.
No, he hasn't watched trailers anymore, folks. Nope. But I guess an easier one to power scale, like someone who can use the weapon but chooses not to, or either vice versa. Like we go into Yu Yu Hakusho and you have what the master? I forgot her name. Genkai, Master Genkai.
What weapon are you talking about?
She has the ability to use weapons. I'm 100% sure. I mean, she's a master in training out there forever, and it talks about her using a. And during her first tournament, didn't she use a weapon? She had a stick or something.
I don't remember them saying that. Her Genkai's spirit wave is literally those words come together. Like that is how they were built. It was Genkai's spirit wave. that was her weapon.
Yeah.
So, but essentially, that's the scaling on it. That's not. It's mitigated. That's not really the gist of it.
I think the better thing would be probably Kurama with his
Rose Whip.
Yeah.
Well, he can manipulate any plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kurama's thing would be: are you lowering him if he's in a concrete room?
I feel like he might be able to manipulate things on the outside of the concrete room to come into the concrete room.
But you have to manipulate that before I kill you.
Right. That's a good point.
Because that rose whip, he pulls a seed out of his hair.
Yeah.
And makes the rose whip.
That's true.
So if Kurama is fresh out the shower and someone's in his bathroom saying, "Hey, fight me, ho," like you are weaker than what you.
But he also has the ability to unlock. I can't remember what the other Kurama.
Yoko?
Yeah, Yoko Kurama. He also has the ability to unlock Yoko Kurama now at will. So if someone does that, all he has to do is be like, I mean, you're dead. takes off his towel and he's transforming into the other guy.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for power systems. You
We didn't
know,
really talk about them. We just
didn't
kept talking
really.
about scaling, but
yeah, I don't know.
That's so weird. That's weird. We just might as well Black Part 2.
All right,
basically this was power scaling part 2. We might actually get into some systems later. We might not. I ain't gonna promise nothing.
bye.
Oh, Lord. Why are you just going to end like that? Listen.
Our endings and entrances are horrible.
I have to excuse JT.
I'm doing great.
Listen. Now excuse JT. JT just like,
Man.
Anyway, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Even comment if you want to. I would greatly appreciate it if y'all comment more.
Don't comment. Don't do it. No
Comment,
comments.
Because they'll give.
Just to fuck with Aramis. Now we have to fuck with Aramis because he asked for comments. No comments.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So, how did you feel about the first half of the game?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What about your rushing yards?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Is that all you're gonna say throughout the whole interview?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.